Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new week. It's Monday, June 19th. Glad you could join me for our time together as we begin a new week together. It's going to be hot again this week, it sounds like, so everyone be careful and make sure you take care of each other. So today, the scripture I've chosen is, again, as we did last week, from the book of James, and it's just one verse. And people say that if you want to find scripture about how to live life and how to be Christian in its fullest sense, that you would choose the book of James. And there's lots of good wisdom that we hear in the book of James when we read it. And so this scripture particularly jumped out at me today. And I want to tell you why. I chose it, but then I went to Perkins this morning in the corner to work on my sermon and clear my thoughts for the week. And this couple came in. They're not a couple necessarily, but a man and a woman. And I don't know their whole story. I had a conversation with them, but I was just enamored by them. They're not married. She was bringing her car to get it fixed. He picked her up. They were going to spend the day together, and they had so much to share with each other, so many things to tell each other. And I heard her say to him, "Look, whatever we do today, breakfast is on me, and whatever we do today, I'm paying for it." And of course, there was a little tussle back and forth, and they couldn't decide what they wanted to eat, and they finally did. And I had another conversation with them about something, and then their food came, and then they stopped, and they said, well, she said specifically, but they both agreed, that she was going to bless the food and their time together. And so they invited me to join them. And so I just put my head down, and she prayed the nicest prayer over their food and their day together, and thanking God for their time together. Shared in their conversation. She's 88. He's 80. I would never have guessed it in a million years. And I got thinking about them. I don't know them. They don't know me. But I got to thinking about them in light of this scripture. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. So it seems, as we know it, that life demands a lot of answers from us. Who will we serve? What will we do? How will we live the fullness of our lives? And it seems to me that the way to really know someone is by watching their actions. And I thought that of those folks today. The conversation, their laughter, the conversation with me, who they don't know. And then the prayer, the blessing that was offered. It's in those things, I think, that we reveal what we've learned, whether we have the wisdom and humility and understanding to lead what James calls a good life. And so with our actions, we reveal how to answer the great questions of our lives. How do we use our wisdom? How do we live the best full lives? Our decisions, it seems to me, are our way of picking a side. Are we choosing the side of wisdom, or are we choosing the side of folly? When we display wisdom, when we choose wisdom and what we've learned, and we show off the good life, then I think it reveals to others around us then about what our choices are. Now, the Bible reminds us, that there is a narrow way to the good life. When we make good choices, we we bear witness to the way, the path to good life. Now, I know that life's chaotic and life can be discouraging and we don't have enough time and all the things, that happen to us. But many of those things are beyond our ability to control them. What is in our ability to control is what James says to us. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. And it seems to me that the scripture says to us that regardless of the things that are outside of our control, there is for us the opportunity to choose. And no one can keep us from the opportunity to choose. There is for us, if we gain understanding and the wisdom to choose it, that we live our lives in that way. So, this morning, I was feeling a little down about myself, and down about my sermon yesterday, and I forgot to put some pictures in the slideshow, and here we are at a new week, and there's so much to be accomplished, and I was kind of in a hurry, eating my breakfast. I wanted to take some notes, and then I just encountered these two people in my life who I don't know. I'll probably never see them again, who showed me in our brief conversation what happens when you live with wisdom. They were sharing all these conversations, all the things they wanted to talk to each other about, all the things that were happening in their lives and the day they were going to spend together. But when the food came, they stopped and she prayed. Friends, for us, in our lives, with all the chaos around us, James challenges us really. He challenges us by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. And, I think that call to live in that way is so powerful and so rich and so needed for us. I don't have all the answers. I don't have any answers maybe. But I certainly have all the answers for how we're called to live in all that way. But James does. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. My goodness. There is for us this opportunity that our actions, our wisdom, that we reveal then to others what we've learned, and then living the good life. And we think good life's maybe by our bank accounts or our stuff or our deeds or what we can buy or can't buy. But James says the good life is when we use wisdom and humility. And those folks at breakfast this morning taught me a valuable lesson that I already know, but sometimes it's in those ways that we learn the best from others. So that's the word for today that strikes me as important, at least for me, to use the wisdom that I've gained to live good life. So I hope that's a good word for you as well today. So know of God's love this day that surrounds you and teaches you and gives you the ability, the hope, the courage to move forward. Know of my love for all of you, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Have a great day.